In a quiet neighborhood, a struggling single mother, Angela, is just trying to get by. Her days are filled with hard work, raising her young son, and holding on to hope despite life's challenges. But one fateful evening, everything changes when she's pulled over by a police officer. What starts as a routine stop quickly turns tense, with racial prejudice lurking beneath the surface. Angela's heart races as she fears for her safety, but just when it seems like things can't get any worse, an unexpected twist turns the situation upside down. The story takes a surprising turn that will challenge our perceptions of compassion, justice, and humanity. Stay tuned to see how this encounter reveals a deeper truth about kindness and understanding in the face of adversity. As Angela sits in her car, gripping the steering wheel tightly, her mind races through the worst possibilities. Her son, sitting quietly in the back seat, senses her fear but doesn't fully understand what's happening. The officer approaches slowly, his stern expression adding to the tension. Angela can't shake the feeling that this encounter could go terribly wrong, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and frustration. She remembers the stories she's heard, the warnings from friends about situations like this. But why did it have to happen to her, especially now when she's barely holding things together? The officer's voice is cold as he asks for her license and registration, and she can see the suspicion in his eyes. There's something in his tone that makes her feel less like a person and more like a target. Angela struggles to stay calm, but the weight of the moment is almost too much to bear. Angela hands over her documents, her hands trembling slightly. The officer examines them with a hard gaze, his silence only adding to the growing tension. She can't help but wonder what he's thinking, whether he sees her as just another statistic or something more. Her son shifts in his seat, his innocent eyes watching everything, absorbing the fear in the air. The officer finally speaks, asking her where she's headed. Angela explains she's on her way home from a long shift at the diner, hoping her honesty will ease the situation. But his next words catch her off guard. He accuses her of a minor traffic violation she doesn't recall committing. It feels unfair, almost like he's searching for a reason to escalate the situation. Meanwhile, inside the officer's mind, there's a flicker of doubt. His own past experiences are colliding with the present moment, challenging his perceptions. The tension hangs thick as both of them stand at a crossroads, their lives unknowingly intertwined by this brief but powerful encounter. Angela's mind races as she tries to think of the right words to say. The officer's accusations feel more personal with each passing second, and she can see the situation teetering on the edge. Her son clutches his toy tighter, sensing his mother's unease, though he remains silent. The street around them is eerily quiet, amplifying every sound, the rustle of papers, the distant hum of traffic, the officer's heavy breathing. Suddenly, the officer takes a step back and places a hand on his radio, as if preparing to call for backup. Angela's heart sinks further. She knows how quickly things can spiral out of control. She considers pleading, explaining her side more forcefully, but something holds her back. She doesn't want to escalate things, but how can she prove her innocence when she feels so powerless? At that moment, a car pulls up behind them, and another figure steps out. Angela's pulse quickens. Is this the help she needs, or is her night about to get even worse? The suspense tightens, the air thick with uncertainty as all eyes shift to the new arrival. The officer's expression softens slightly as the woman's words sink in, but he still seems unsure. Angela holds her breath, feeling the weight of the moment. The older woman gently places a hand on the officer's arm, her voice steady. "We've all had hard days. Maybe this can be a chance to show a little understanding." The officer glances back at Angela, then at her son, who's now looking up at him with wide, innocent eyes. There's a flicker of recognition in the officer's face, a reminder of his own family, perhaps all the struggles he's seen others face. He takes a deep breath and steps back, his hand dropping from his radio. "I'm letting you go with a warning," he says, his tone softer but still firm. "Drive safe." Relief washes over Angela, and she nods, whispering a heartfelt thank you. As she starts to drive away, she catches the older woman's eye in the rearview mirror. There's a knowing smile on her face, and Angela feels a deep sense of gratitude. But just as she turns the corner, her phone buzzes with a message from an unknown number. It's a photo of her and her son, taken moments before the stop. Beneath it, a message reads, "We're watching." Her heart races again, the relief quickly replaced by a new wave of anxiety. This encounter might be over, but the battle is far from done. Angela's hands grip the steering wheel as she processes the unsettling message. Fear creeps back in, but this time it's mixed with determination. She knows she can't live in constant fear, not for herself and certainly not for her son. As they drive home in silence, she resolves to take control of her narrative. The next day, Angela reaches out to a local community group, sharing her story. She's met with support and encouragement, finding strength in knowing she's not alone. The older woman who intervened also becomes a regular presence in their lives, offering wisdom and friendship. Through it all, Angela learns that while the world can be harsh, it's also filled with unexpected kindness. The encounter with the officer and the mysterious message remind her of the power of resilience and community. Life may continue to test her, but now she's ready to face whatever comes next, armed with newfound courage and hope.